Hey, what is up, Drip Tippers? And today we have the Subtank Mini versus the just released Lemo 2 Showdown. To begin with, I've had the Subtank Mini for quite some time, and I really adore this tank. From the aesthetics to the design to the size and the juice capacity, I think Kanger did a really phenomenal job, and wanted to really tell the whole vaping community that Kanger was a lot more than EVODs and Pro Tanks, and I thought really knocked it out of the park with the Subtank Mini. I am a builder of coils, and once I got the Subtank Mini, I immediately rebuilt the OCC coil heads, but then I was like, why am I even doing that? It has a build deck on there. So I got the build deck out and initially really liked the build deck. Its size is really cute. And it just looks really cool in there. However, I immediately had problems with the size of the juice channels, which are relatively small, Kanger. Not everyone vapes exclusively 80% PG juice. I like a little thickness to my juice, like my women. And what immediately followed was looking up every single tutorial online on how to wick this thing better. I tried pancake wicking. I tried where you cut the wicks and put them to the side. I tried wicking where you cast an occult spell on the wick so that it can absorb more juice. It's never really worked properly for me without getting dry hitting. The way I vape, which is of the chain vape variety, I'd get a dry hit. You know the dry hit when you get it's like peanut butter and chocolate. And then all of a sudden it mixes in tastes of Satan's dick. And try as I might, I couldn't get this thing to wick properly because the juice I vape is heavily VG. I just got an order from TBD Liquid. Shout out to John. Truly the best affordable, actually good quality juice I have found. It just wouldn't wick because the juice channels are so frigging tiny on this thing. They're minuscule. It's like a whisper of juice can get through. And I know there's plenty of people out there who have gotten the wicking properly, but I am not one of them. I consider myself pretty experienced, and at least the way I vape, I was never able to get it to not dry hit after a while, which was a huge pain in the ass, especially because I love this tank like a child of mine. It's like the kid you love who just can't get it together, who can't pass the SATs. I don't even know. So I immediately set out to, well, not immediately. This is like after a month and a half of trying. I even if you can see that, I tried to drill out the juice channels and I went up drilling into my finger. So if you want to vape off of my left hand pointy finger, then I've got a juice channel right here for you. So once that happened, I was like, no, I need to find another tank for my thicker VG juices. And then of course the Lemo 2 came out, which was something that I'd consider getting the Lemo initially because people thought it was awesome. And then the Lemo 2 came out, and I pre-ordered it from Kingly Vapes, and it just arose. And I've had time to play with it and test it, and I'd like to give you an honest comparison between this and the Subtank Mini. First off, the Lemo 2 has some nice features. I like the top fill feature. If you can see here on the top, you simply let me close off the airflow so I don't get juice all over my eye stick. And then cause it to auto fire. Been reading that on Reddit. What? You just close off the airflow at the bottom. It's got two Cyclops holes, and then twist the top, exposing the open juice hole, and pour your juice in that way, which is nice. It takes a little practice to get it to work properly without getting juice spilt on the tank, but it is a really nice feature and one I look forward to in my chain vaping sessions. Number two, you can see by comparison, sorry for the blurry angle, how much bigger the chimney and build deck is. There's a lot more room in there, and you can get a lot more cotton in there as well. I'm just using the stock coil that comes in here. It comes with a 0.5 ohm coil, which also comes pre-wicked, which is nice. Once I finish this tank, I'm going to take it out and put a Clapton in here, as I have on this one. But I just wanted to see how it fired with your base configuration. I have a peanut butter and chocolate in here from TBD that I've vaped quite frequently in the Subtank Mini and really enjoy. And when I put it in the Lemo, I immediately noticed more of the peanut butter coming through. I think the larger chimney area allows the vapor to condense more. I'm totally talking out of my ass right now. I have no idea why it happens. But the flavor is nice on this one, and I look forward to putting it in other tanks. So for comparison's sake, I am getting more of a fully rounded out flavor profile in the Lemo than I did with the Subtank, which is not to say this wasn't great, but I'm just noticing more accent notes of the juice I've put in here so far. The airflow is very nice. There are two Cyclops holes, one on the front and one on the back. You turn the air ring. And people are saying the airflow is better than the Subtank Mini, but honestly, I can't tell much of a difference in airflow. That's not a bad thing. The airflow on both of these is phenomenal. I don't know if I'd even wish for more airflow on either of them. But it's definitely not something that I would need to improve or rework at all. Aesthetics, go to the Subtank Mini. It's also a little bit shorter. As you can see, there's the Subtank Mini is about 2 millimeters shorter than the Lemo without the top cap. With the top cap, the Lemo stops right about here. Subtank Mini, of course, is nice and compact. I really do like the design that Kanger put on this one, as well as the O-rings, which you're able to swap out. I put the black ones on to match the iStick 50 watt. So aesthetics, I definitely have to give to the Subtank Mini. But the Lemo so far is working like I hoped it would. One of the big things about the Lemo is the juice channels are really massive. And that's again really why I got this thing, because the juice channels are probably 4 or 5 times bigger than they are on the Subtank Mini. So if you're vaping juices that have a higher VG ratio, as I think most of us really are these days, I don't know anyone that tilts to the PG side of things. I just got an email. I'd almost say getting a tank like the Lemo, or if not the Lemo, something like the Goblin or Goliath that just have bigger juice channels is going to save you a lot of frustration, just because the wicking is actually done properly on these without having to like rip, trip, pancake, cross-stitch wick on this one just to get the cotton to retain enough juice that you don't get dry hits after about 4 or 5 good pulls. I will, of course, do the obligatory vapor pull on the Lemo, so you can see that it does, in fact, produce vapor. And a very nice vapor indeed. The flavor is nice. I can run it at a slightly higher wattage than the Subtank Mini. I find the Subtank Mini begins to get warm like the touch of a woman after about 25 watts. I have this on 32 watts with no signs of dry hitting and or the vapor being too burnt to enjoy. So to sum up, if you don't mind using the stock OCC coils and you have no interest in rebuilding whatsoever, go with the Subtank Mini. The coils last for about 2 weeks. They're all using organic cotton now, which I'm a big fan of. And the OCC coils can handle thicker VG-based juices because of the larger absorption area in the coil heads. If you like to rebuild, that probably means you're going to like thicker VG-based juices because you've given way too much of your life over to this hobby, as I have. I would recommend going with the Lemo 2, simply because you're not going to get the hassle of getting dry hits and cursing the tank that we love. It won't be an issue with this. This, of course, is only a build deck. There are no replaceable coils for this one. So if you like to build and your juices just lean heavily on VG, I would recommend getting the Lemo 2. Despite the fact that the Subtank Mini is sexier, more people have it, so you can fit in at parties, vapor parties that you might attend, and so on and so forth. I will, of course, keep using this, and will update you a little later. Maybe I'll do a video like after a week of using it and see if my feelings have changed. But for right now, the way I vape with thicker VG-based juices and someone who likes to build their own coils, the Lemo 2 is the one to go with. If Kanger releases a new RBA, it's RBA, right? RDA is dripping. RBA is the bomb. If Kanger releases a new build deck for this one with larger juice channels, I will, of course, get it. And we'll do another video or something like that, because that probably evens up the score here. But for the way I vape, I would go with the Lemo. Flavor and vapor production are pretty similar. Lemo has the edge on flavor. However, the larger juice channels make a huge difference. Plus the top fill refilling method. And it was never really a big deal refilling the Subtank Mini for me either, but this is just one more step in the way of convenience. So, that having been said, thank you for watching the drip tip, and I need a phrase, like some phrase at the end. Thank you for watching the drip tip, and if your tip ain't dripping, then you trippin'. That works. Does that work?